Have you ever felt something shifting in your life, even though nothing around you has changed? That quiet feeling deep inside, like something is moving in the unseen, is not your imagination. It's not anxiety. It's the whisper of your spirit trying to tell you that something greater is on the way. You can't explain it with logic, you just know. You feel it in moments of silence, in the middle of your routine, in your prayers, in your pauses, in your pauses. There's a weight in the atmosphere, not of burden, but of expectancy. It's as if heaven is holding its breath, waiting for the right moment to release what you've been waiting for. This feeling is sacred. And it's not random. You were led here for a reason. Because right now, in this very season of your life, a miracle is being formed on your behalf. You may not see it, but it's already in motion. The doors you thought were closed for good are quietly unlocking. The things you thought you lost are being restored in ways you couldn't imagine. What you've been praying for, what you've cried about in the privacy of your own heart, is being heard. But here's the truth. Before miracles show up in the physical, they begin in the spiritual. And right now, you're standing on the edge of something supernatural. This isn't about hype. This isn't wishful thinking. This is alignment. You're being positioned, prepared, and protected for what's next. The delay was not denial. It was divine setup. Every setback, every unanswered prayer, every door that didn't open, none of it was wasted. It was all building you, all preparing you. You're not behind. You're not late. You're right where you're supposed to be. This is the moment before the miracle, and most people don't recognize it because it doesn't feel big. It feels quiet, but heaven does its best work in silence. If you've been feeling overlooked, forgotten, or tired, hear this. You are closer than you think. The pressure you feel isn't punishment, it's birth. Something inside you is being awakened. Your faith is being tested not to break you, but to stretch you. Oh, because the miracle that's coming won't just answer a prayer. It will reveal a purpose. You're not being rescued. You're being released into a new version of yourself, stronger, wiser, more aligned with who you were always meant to be. Stay with this message. Because by the time it ends, something will have shifted inside of you. Your spirit will be reminded of what your mind forgot, that you were created for something more, that miracles still happen, that God hasn't changed his mind about you. If you're still breathing, that means your miracle still has a pulse. Don't stop now. You didn't come this far to break. You came this far because something is about to break open for you. And when it does, you'll know this was the moment everything began to change. You've made it through battles that would have crushed others. You've endured storms that tried to drown your hope. There were nights when the weight on your chest felt too heavy, mornings when getting out of bed was a silent victory, and days when no one knew how close you were to breaking. And yet, here you are, not by luck, not by chance, but by grace. You didn't just survive those moments, you grew through them. The very things that tried to destroy you became the soil for your strength. You are not weak because you struggled. You are powerful because you did not give up. There's a kind of strength that can't be taught, only forged, and life has been shaping you for a moment you haven't even seen yet. Every disappointment, every closed door, every delay, it all served a higher purpose. The pain didn't come to stay, it came to transform. You're not the same person who started this journey. You've been stretched, refined, humbled, strengthened, and that growth was not in vain. It was the preparation for what is now about to be revealed in your life. What you've gone through didn't come to break you. It came to wake you. It came to wake you, to awaken a deeper version of you, one that knows who they are, even when everything around them falls apart, one that chooses faith even in darkness, one that can stand in the fire and say, I'm still here. That voice inside you, that quiet resilience, that's purpose speaking louder than pain. That's your destiny refusing to stay buried. That's the miracle forming even in your weakness. You were never meant to stay in survival mode. You were created to rise, to lead, to live fully, not just endure. And deep down, you know this. You've always known this. You've always known this. That's why the struggle hurt so deeply, because it was trying to bury something that was born to shine. You were never meant to quit. That's why no matter how hard it got, something in you refused to surrender completely. That part of you is your calling. Part of you is your calling. That fire that never went out. It's proof that your time is not over. It's just beginning. Right now, heaven sees you. Not just your prayers, but your persistence. Your tears didn't fall unseen. Your efforts weren't wasted. Every moment you chose hope over fear, faith over doubt, trust over worry, those moments have been multiplied in the unseen. And now a shift is coming. A divine release. What tried to hold you back will no longer have power over you. What once felt like loss will now make sense in the light of what's ahead. You are standing in the aftermath of survival, on the edge of transformation, and your story is about to turn. Not because everything suddenly becomes perfect, but because you are finally aligned with the version of you that refuses to live beneath your calling. The miracle is not just coming to your life, it's being drawn through your life, because you're ready now, ready for what's next. Ready for the impossible. You've come too far to doubt the power that brought you here. The ache you've carried, the questions that kept you awake at night, the seasons that made no sense, all of it is leading somewhere. Even when you couldn't see the purpose, purpose never stopped chasing you. And now the shift you've been waiting for is not just possible, it's close. But before miracles manifest around you, they rise within you. That is where the transformation begins. It doesn't start when the door opens. It starts when your heart opens. It starts when your heart opens. When you finally let go of the fear that you are too late, too flawed, too far gone. You are none of those things. You are right on time for what's already been written for you. Life will always offer reasons to doubt, to delay, to settle. But miracles respond to belief. Not perfect belief, not flawless confidence, but the kind of belief that shows up even with trembling hands. The kind that chooses to expect even after disappointment. That is the beginning of breakthrough. When you stop letting your past shape your future. When you stop shrinking yourself to fit into the patterns that were never designed for your growth. Your miracle isn't waiting on more effort. It's waiting on your agreement, your alignment, your willingness to believe again. Everything you need is already inside you. The wisdom, the vision, the ability to rise, the courage to begin again, but belief is the key that unlocks it. Your faith is not about forcing outcomes. It's about opening space for what's already yours. A miracle is not about making something happen. It's about finally receiving what's been trying to reach you. Peace, restoration, opportunity, purpose, but they cannot flow into a heart that's closed by fear. This is the moment where you stop rehearsing your losses and start declaring your future. You don't have to know how it will happen. You just have to know who's with you. And that presence, the one that never left you, is already working in your favor, in the background, in the silence, in the stillness. While you were trying to figure it all out, something greater was already figuring it out for you. Your only job now is to trust, to stand still in faith, to believe that this time it will be different, because you are different. And different choices create different results. This is not just another day. This is the turning point, the invisible line between what was and what's about to be. Your faith is not wasted. Your hope is not empty. You've been positioned on purpose. There is power in your surrender. There is favor in your yes. And there is a miracle already making its way to you, not because you earned it, but because you were destined to carry it. All you have to do is stay open, stay ready, and believe. Because what's coming is greater than what you've lost. There's a reason it hasn't happened yet. Not because you're forgotten. Not because you're being punished. But because timing matters. The miracle isn't just about what you're waiting for. It's about who you're becoming while you wait. Delay is not the absence of progress. It's often the proof of deeper preparation. There are things you asked for that were real, but you weren't ready yet. And that's not failure. That's grace. Because the version of you that's rising now is more capable, more focused, more surrendered. What used to shake you no longer defines you. What used to hold you no longer controls you. And that inner shift is the foundation for what's coming next. The process of waiting is not passive. It's sacred. It stretches your faith. It purifies your motives. It breaks attachments to things that were never meant to stay. When everything around you feels still, something inside you is growing. You are being stretched in silence so that you can carry the weight of what's ahead. And it is weight, the kind of purpose that changes lives. The kind of vision that breaks cycles, the kind of assignment that requires a prepared soul, not just a willing heart. This is the part most people don't see. The behind-the-scenes development, the private pruning, the unseen obedience. But none of it is wasted. None of it is wasted. Every moment of stillness, every season of obscurity, every quiet act of faith, it's all building the foundation of your miracle. What you think is a pause is really a setup, not just for the outcome, but for the character you need to sustain it. Because miracles are not just about arrival. They're about endurance. They don't just come to bless you, they come to elevate you. There is no wasted season when you are aligned with purpose. Even pain has a role. Even silence has a voice. And right now, all of it is working together. Maya. The confusion, the delay, the closed doors, the moments that made no sense, they were never random. They were removing the distractions, stripping away what cannot go with you, making space for clarity, for purity, for destiny. And though it's taken time, you are closer than you've ever been. And hold this truth in your heart. It's not too late. You haven't missed your moment. The time that felt lost wasn't wasted. It was invested. And what's coming will make sense of it all. You look back and see that the weight wasn't empty. It was everything. It made you ready. It made you strong. It made you whole. And now you are prepared not just to receive the miracle, but to carry it with wisdom, with confidence, and with vision. This is your confirmation. The stillness has purpose. The delay has direction. And the miracle is still on schedule. Stay anchored. Stay available. Stay expectant. What's ahead is already yours, and it's coming exactly when you're ready to rise into it. What you're praying for is not beyond your reach. It's waiting on your obedience. Not obedience that comes from fear or pressure, but the kind that flows from trust. The miracle that's forming in your life is not just about what you receive, it's about how you respond. Breakthrough often begins with a simple step, a choice. A decision to move, to release, to believe, without demanding all the details. It doesn't have to make sense to others. It just has to be right in your spirit. That's where true alignment happens. In the quiet yes, in the unseen surrender, in the steps that feel small but carry eternal weight. Every time you say yes to what your spirit is leading you toward, even when it costs you comfort, you create space for something divine to enter. That's the kind of obedience heaven responds to. Not perfection, not performance, but willingness. The courage to let go of what's familiar so you can step into what's destined. The discipline to follow through even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. The integrity to do what's right when no one's watching. These moments may seem invisible to the world, but they are noticed in the places that matter most. There's a reason your next breakthrough is attached to your next decision. Because miracles are not just given, they are stewarded. They are stewarded. They are trusted to the hearts that can carry them without losing who they are. The instruction that seems small may be the very thing that unlocks the floodgates. It might be the call you're avoiding, the forgiveness you've delayed, the habit you need to end. The vision you've been too afraid to start. You keep asking for confirmation, but deep down, you already know. The miracle isn't waiting on the world to change. It's waiting on you to act. It's easy to wait for a sign, to hope for a moment that forces everything to shift. But growth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's wrapped in discipline. Sometimes it's hidden in the ordinary. That's why so many miss it. They're waiting for lightning, but God moves in whispers. Not because he wants to confuse you, but because he wants to develop you. He wants to see if you can follow his voice before the outcome appears. That's what builds faith that lasts. If you felt stuck, unsure of what to do next, ask yourself what you already know but haven't acted on. The next step is rarely complicated. It's usually uncomfortable. But discomfort is the birthplace of growth. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a faithful move, because the miracle you're believing for is already in motion. It's already written. But you have a role to play, not by striving, but by obeying, not by forcing, but by flowing. Trust what you've heard. Trust what you feel deep in your spirit. The next move is yours, and when you take it, everything begins to align. You are not what you lost. You are not what walked away. You are not the opportunity that slipped through your fingers or the time you feel you can't get back. Your value was never tied to those things. They may have shaped your journey, but they don't define your identity. You are still chosen, still called, still deeply capable of walking into the life you were created to live. The world may have labeled you by your pain, but heaven still calls you by your purpose. And that purpose cannot be cancelled by circumstances. It cannot be stolen by disappointment. It cannot be buried under regret. You may have been through seasons that shook your confidence and clouded your vision bay. Sunda. Moments where you questioned who you are. Moments where you forgot what you carry. But you've been equipped with something greater than anything you've lost. You have resilience. You have wisdom born from experience. You have fire that never fully went out. And if you're honest, you know it's still there, that quiet voice, that undeniable pull, that deep truth in your spirit that says, there's more. That more isn't behind you. It's in front of you, and it's still waiting on you to rise. This is the season where you stop measuring your worth by external things. Not by success, not by status, not by who stayed or who left. Because your identity is not fragile. It is not based on performance. It is rooted in something eternal. You are not here by accident. You are here on assignment. And no loss, no failure, no detour has changed that. What you carry is not less because of what you've been through. In fact, it's more, because the pressure has refined you. The heartbreak has softened you. The rejection has redirected you. You've spent long enough questioning your worth and replaying what didn't work. But now is the time to shift, to stop seeing yourself through the lens of what broke and start seeing yourself through the eyes of what's being rebuilt. You are stronger than the story you tell yourself. You are deeper than the pain you've endured. You are more than enough for the calling that's coming. And this time, when it shows up, you'll be ready. Not desperate, not doubting, not shrinking. Ready, because now you know who you are. Let the past inform you, but never let it limit you. Let the lesson stay, but let the shame go. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You just have to be faithful with what's in your hands. Because your identity is not in what left. It's in what remains, and what remains is sacred. What remains is powerful. What remains is more than enough. You're not here to relive the pain. You're here to redeem the purpose. And what's ahead of you will make it clear. Nothing was ever wasted, not even the broken pieces. The battles you faced were never signs of weakness. They were signs of weight. The resistance came because of what you carry. You weren't under attack because you were broken. You were under attack because you are powerful. The pressure wasn't proof of your limits. It was evidence of your potential. Every challenge was a mirror not showing you what you lack, but revealing what was hidden inside you all along: strength, endurance, vision. The ability to stand in the middle of chaos and still believe that purpose will rise from the ashes. You've wondered why it's been so hard, why the weight felt so heavy, why the obstacles came back to back without mercy. But the answer is simple. You're a threat to everything that wants to keep people bound. You're not just here to survive. You're here to shift atmospheres, to change patterns, to break generational limits. And anything that powerful will always be met with opposition. But what the enemy uses to stop you, God uses to build you. What was meant to destroy you is turning into the very thing that defines your authority. You're not fragile. You're not defeated. You're not disqualified. The fact that you're still standing is proof of how far you've come. And even more, it's proof of how far you're about to go. There is more ahead, more influence, more favor, more doors, but most importantly, more clarity. You're not entering the next season confused. You're entering it convinced. Convinced of who you are, convinced of what you carry, convinced that no storm has the final word over your life. You fought in silence, but you're about to win in public. And it won't be because you forced it. It will be because you endured. You don't have to explain the battles you fought. You don't have to justify the process. The fruit will speak for itself. The healing, the restoration, the peace that's coming, it will all reflect the unseen fight you walked through with grace. You were never losing. You were being refined. And now the oil from that crushing will become fuel. What once drained you will now drive you. What once silenced you will now empower you. What once made you question your future will now confirm your calling. Don't look back. Don't regret the path. Every tear, every valley, every dark night, it all had a purpose. It all prepared you to carry this next level with depth, with humility, with strength. The pressure shaped you, but it didn't steal your promise. That promise still stands. The vision is still alive, and it's closer than it's ever been. Keep walking, keep believing, keep believing. Because what you're stepping into isn't small. It's divine, and the warfare was only proof that the miracle will be undeniable. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. And when you do, everything that fought you will bow to the purpose you never gave up on. This is the moment you reclaim your authority. Not in arrogance, not in pride, but in truth. The kind of truth that breaks chains, the kind that silences fear, the kind that reminds your soul that you were never created to live beneath your calling. You were made to rise. You were made to move forward, to carry light into dark places, to speak life where silence once lived. You were created to walk in fullness, not to shrink, not to hide, not to merely survive, but to step boldly into every space you were born to influence. Your identity is not up for debate. It doesn't waver based on others' opinions. It isn't diminished by rejection. You are who you are, even when you don't feel it. Even when everything around you seems to contradict it. Because truth is not built on emotion, it is built on design. And your design carries power, purpose, and divine intention. You were wired with vision. You were formed with destiny in mind. That means nothing you've been through has the power to void what's been spoken over your life. It's not too late. You haven't missed it. The miracle hasn't passed you by. Every distraction that tried to pull you away, every voice that tried to convince you to give up, every fear that tried to keep you small, it's losing its grip now. Because when you remember who you are, everything changes. Your posture changes. Your focus sharpens. Your spirit awakens. Your spirit awakens. The same situations no longer intimidate you. The same battles no longer drain you, because now you see them for what they are: temporary resistance standing in the way of permanent growth. This is where you rise, not by proving anything to others, but by finally stepping in agreement with your own potential. No more watering down your dreams. No more excusing your anointing. No more playing small just to keep peace. You weren't designed for comfort. You were designed for impact. And impact requires movement. It requires presence. It requires a full yes, not a hesitant yes, not a halfway yes, a full surrender to the greatness you've been avoiding. You've been quiet for too long. You've been second-guessing yourself, waiting for perfect conditions, trying to gather enough proof before you leap. But the proof is in you. It's in your breath. It's in your survival. It's in the strength you didn't know you had. You don't need more time. You need more truth. And the truth is this: you're already prepared. You're already chosen. You're already equipped. Now is the time. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, the miracle is waiting on your agreement. Heaven is ready to partner with your movement. All of creation is leaning in, waiting for you to walk in what's already been set aside for you. You're not chasing your purpose. You're awakening to it. Step forward, eyes open, heart ready. The shift has already begun, and everything changes from here. The moment you align with who you truly are, everything around you starts to shift. Not because life suddenly gets easier, but because your spirit stops settling for less. You begin to see clearly. You begin to feel stronger. The fear that once held you starts to fade. The doubts that used to control you begin to lose their power. Why? Because the truth of your identity starts to speak louder than the noise of your circumstances. You are no longer waiting for permission to be who you were born to be. You are stepping into it, fully, freely, without apology. Without apology. There is a fire in you that the world didn't give, and the world cannot extinguish. It's been buried under the weight of pressure, hidden behind insecurity, suppressed by the opinions of others. But it never died, it only waited, and now it's waking up. It's waking up. Not to burn you out, but to burn away everything that was never part of your purpose. You're not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into a new standard, a new mindset, a new level of spiritual authority that refuses to be silenced by fear, failure, or delay. You've come through too much to doubt yourself now. You've carried too much weight in silence. You've pressed forward when it felt like no one saw you. But heaven saw you. Heaven measured every tear, every sacrifice, every silent battle, and none of it went unnoticed. You weren't forgotten. You were being refined. And now the time has come to take what was forged in the fire and walk it into the future. No more hesitation, no more second guessing. It's time to release what's inside you. There are doors that are already opening because your heart is finally ready. There are opportunities preparing to meet you because your mindset has shifted. You're no longer chasing affirmation. You're walking in conviction. You're no longer performing for acceptance. You're moving with clarity. That is the power of alignment. It doesn't just change your path, it changes your posture. You stop reacting to life and start creating with intention. You stop looking around for confirmation and start listening inward for direction. Everything you've walked through has prepared you for this level of trust. Not just trusting the process, but trusting the promise. Trusting that what's meant for you won't miss you. Trusting that the delays didn't disqualify you. Trusting that the quiet seasons were the training ground for the life you're about to step into. You don't need to see the whole picture. You just need to trust the one who painted it. You don't need to force open any doors. The ones meant for you will open as you move in obedience. This is not the end of your story. It's the rise, the awakening, the divine alignment of purpose, power, and preparation. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are right on time for the miracle that's been waiting for your yes. There is a force within you that no circumstance can diminish. It's the quiet strength that rises even when the world feels heavy. It's the part of you that refuses to be defined by setbacks or limitations. This force is your faith. Faith not just in a distant promise, but faith in yourself as a vessel of purpose and power. The moment you embrace this truth, you begin to see that your life is not random or accidental. Every step, every struggle, every silent moment has been crafting a masterpiece that only you can complete. You've been conditioned to wait for signs that confirm your worth, to seek approval before you act, to hesitate because the path isn't perfectly clear. But the greatest breakthroughs rarely come wrapped in certainty. They come disguised as risks, discomfort, and unknowns. The courage to move forward without all the answers is what separates those who remain stuck from those who rise. So rise. You don't have to see the entire staircase to take the first step, but you must have the courage to move even when the next step feels uncertain. Your mind may try to convince you that it's safer to stay small, to avoid failure, to protect what little you have. But that safety is a prison. True freedom is found when you break free from fear and step into your full potential. It is in these moments of vulnerability that your spirit expands. It is when you choose to act, despite the fear, that the impossible begins to unfold. The miracle you're waiting for is on the other side of that fear, not around it, not after it's gone, but through it. You have been given gifts that the world desperately needs. Your ideas, your talents, your unique perspective, they matter. They are the keys to unlocking new doors in your life and in the lives of others. But these keys won't work if they remain unused, hidden behind doubt or hesitation. The world cannot receive what you have to offer if you remain silent. The breakthrough is not just about what happens to you. It's about what you bring to life because you refuse to give up. When you begin to act with intention and belief, something extraordinary happens. Your energy shifts. People begin to see you differently. Opportunities start to align in ways that feel like more than coincidence. These are the moments when the miracle moves through you, transforming not just your reality, but the reality around you. You become a beacon of hope, a testimony of what's possible when faith overcomes fear. You are standing on the edge of something great. The question is not if the miracle will come, it's whether you will step into it, whether you will trust the process, believe in your worth, and take the action that is calling you. The next chapter of your life is waiting for your courage to open the door. This is your invitation to rise, to trust, and to embrace the miracle that has always been ready for you. There is a sacred power in persistence. It is not about never falling, but about refusing to stay down. The world may try to convince you that giving up is easier, that the struggle defines your limits, but your spirit knows otherwise. Deep inside, there is a reservoir of strength waiting for you to tap into, a strength born from the very battles you have fought and the storms you have weathered. This strength is your birthright. It's the key that unlocks the door to your breakthrough. When you hold on to it, even in your darkest hours, you move closer to the miracle that is destined to change everything. Persistence is more than just endurance. It is an active choice to keep believing when belief feels impossible. It is the silent agreement with yourself that your journey is not over, no matter how long the road, no matter how heavy the load. You may feel tired, defeated, or overwhelmed, but the power to keep moving forward exists within you. It's what pushes you to get up again, to try again, to speak again, even when the world says no. This relentless refusal to quit is where transformation begins. It's the unseen foundation of every miracle. You must remember your breakthrough is not a matter of chance but of choice. It's the decision to stay committed when giving up seems easier. It's choosing hope when despair tries to take root. This choice isn't always loud or dramatic. Often it is quiet, a small act of faith in the morning, a moment of courage in the afternoon, a whispered prayer in the night. These small decisions accumulate, building momentum until the impossible becomes inevitable. Your mind will challenge you. It will remind you of past failures, highlight every reason to stop, and fill your thoughts with doubt. This is natural. The human brain is wired to protect you from pain and risk, but your soul calls you beyond safety into growth, beyond comfort into purpose, into purpose. The tension between these two forces is where you must stand firm. You must consciously reject the lies of limitation and hold fast to the truth of your potential. The longer you persevere, the more your confidence grows and the clearer your path becomes. Persistence transforms pain into power. It turns obstacles into opportunities. It rewires your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from defeat to victory. The longer you stay committed, the more you develop a resilience that cannot be shaken by circumstance. This resilience is magnetic. It draws in opportunities, people, and experiences aligned with your purpose. It prepares you for the miracle by strengthening your character and sharpening your focus. The breakthrough you seek will not arrive before you are ready, but persistence prepares you to receive it fully when it does. It creates a foundation strong enough to support the blessings that are coming. So, stand firm today. Embrace the struggle. Keep pressing forward. The miracle is on its way, and your persistence is the path that will lead you right into it. Your future self is already thanking you for refusing to quit.